You up for playing outside the lines?
What are her directives then?
Neutralize the target.
You do it quiet, and you do it clean.
If your cover is blown, you have to save yourself.
Did you hit the target?
I'm doing everything different this time. She's your field agent. Do what you think's best.
Welcome to the MGM Grand. The most anticipated fight of the year comes your way. Errol Spence Jr. against Terence Crawford. Let's meet the fighters, a part of this mega pay-per-view event. Sergio Garcia.
Vamos a demostrar quién es mejor de los dos. Van a ver un gran espectáculo por mi parte.
From Santiago de Cuba, Yoenis Tellez.
Yo voy a salir a hacer mi trabajo y a aprovechar la oportunidad que se me dio.
Our second pay-per-view fight, Alexandro Santiago.
Me motiva mucho a pelear con una leyenda como Donaire y pues me siento listo.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire. One of the most exciting fighters that we've ever seen.
I can fight, I can box, so whatever Santiago got for me, I'm ready for it.
This is our co-main event, a lightweight title eliminator. Please welcome the undefeated contender, Giovanni Cabrera.
Oh man, I'm gonna put this historic dance on Pitbull Cruz.
Isaac Pitbull Cruz.
Y venimos a darle a la gente lo que merece, un gran espectáculo. Vengo a traer el verdadero estilo mexicano una vez más a Las Vegas.
Fight Week with Spence and Crawford officially underway here in Las Vegas. Las Vegas, welcome to day 2 of Spence Crawford Fight Week here at the MGM Grand. We are inching closer to Saturday night. The undisputed welterweight championship of the world is up for grabs between Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. Las Vegas, we are beginning our media workouts with a very special surprise. I want to bring up a man who has an undefeated record of 39 wins, no losses. 30 wins coming by way of knockout. On Saturday night, he's hoping to become the first male boxer to be undisputed champion in 2 divisions. He's a 3-division world champion, having captured world titles at 135, 140. He's been a welterweight champion at 147 since 2018 with the victory over Jeff Horn. Trained under the guidance of Brian Bomac McIntyre. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the reigning and defending WBO welterweight champion of the world from Omaha, Nebraska, the proud Cornhusker, Terence Crawford. Terence, it is great to see you. I mean, you're smiling. You seem very happy. Vegas is buzzing. First of all, how was yesterday for you with the grand arrivals and seeing the crowd yesterday and now seeing the fans here today? I feel like there are more fans here today, and it's even building even that much more.
Man, I feel great. I thank each and every one of y'all for taking the time out to come and support the event. Man, I'm lost for words. I really can't say too much, but thanks.
Now, I know you and Spence are very proud family men. Do you have all your family here? Are most of them coming in over the next couple of days? And talk to us about, making sure you focus on the task at hand, but I know you're very much proud of spending time with your family.
Well, of course, all my family get in tomorrow morning, and it's going to be great to see them and have them here with me for this special moment. And it's another day in the office. I'm prepared for everything that's going to come with it. Securing a victory Saturday. I've been here before, and now it's only a weight game.
How is it in terms of being able to, sleep and get your rest? Because I'm so excited for Saturday night, I can hardly sleep. So how do you maintain making sure that you get the proper rest?
I just isolate myself in the room. Don't leave unless I have to.
What is your favorite part of fight week? Are you looking forward to the press conference tomorrow, the weigh-in, facing them off? Or aside from fight night, what's your favorite part of fight week?
Nothing. Just fight. Let's fight. That's the exciting part. Let's fight.
All right, so for all the fans, I know that there are new fans that have made their way here to Las Vegas, new fans watching around the world, but, do you want to give them a little, preview of what they can expect on Saturday night against Errol Spence?
Man, you can expect fireworks. You can expect the best Terence Crawford that you guys have seen yet. I trained tremendously hard. I'm pretty sure that he trained hard. He's going to come to try to knock me out. I'm going to try to knock him out. That's going to lead to an exciting fight.
We're in Las Vegas, but everybody knows you are a legend in Nebraska, in Omaha. How much are you excited, and what do you want to tell the fans that have been supporting you from the very beginning in Nebraska and Omaha?
Well, I like to let everybody know I'm undefeated in Las Vegas, so.
Uh-oh, wait a minute.
Let's continue that streak.
All right, Terence, always appreciate it. Good luck, and we'll see you throughout the rest of the week.
Thank you.
Terence Bud Crawford, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the welterweight champion of the world, looking to become the first man to be a undisputed champion in 2 divisions from a male standpoint. Wow, great to start off the media workouts with a special guest appearance from Terence Bud Crawford. I told you we have some surprises along the way, and my goodness, seeing Terence Crawford, I mean, you could tell that he's enjoying every bit of fight week. He's immersing himself in it. He loves, obviously, he's getting the joy from the fans. He's rejuvenated, and he certainly loves the appreciation and the love that he gets from the fans. But make no mistake about it, he is focused on the task at hand. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a part of our dynamic night of boxing, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time on Showtime pay-per-view from T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas. If you're not going to be in the arena, make sure to order it on Showtime pay-per-view, or you can purchase closed-circuit tickets from the MGM Grand Garden Arena box office. We have a lightweight title eliminator, this one in our co-main event. This man with a record of 21 wins, no losses, 7 wins coming by way of knockout, having gotten this opportunity with a resounding victory over Gabriel Flores. Ladies and gentlemen, trained under the guidance of the Hall of Fame trainer, Freddie Roach, here is Giovanni Cabrera. Gio, great to see you, my friend. Now, this is day 2 of fight week. But I was up there on stage with you and Isaac Cruz when you guys were face-to-face yesterday during the grand arrivals, and it got intense. I didn't even like being up there. What did you take away from that face-off?
His name is Pitbull. I thought he was going to bite me. Good thing he didn't.
Okay, so did you take away anything from that? Did you see anything in his eyes that is going to lead you one way or another?
No, I saw the fire in his eyes, and I'm expecting a great fight. I'm expecting to put on a historic performance. I'm going to take the Pitbull to dance, and I'm fucking ready.
You are the kind of guy that loves to mix it up and have these back and forth battles. You have a unique style. Do you like the fact that it's not going to be hard to find this guy because from the outset, he charges right at you and tries to gain the center of the ring?
Yeah, the bigger the anger, the beast, the harder he's gonna fall on my sword. I'm a bullfighter. I'm a matador. So let's go. I've been through this before. Every fighter that I've faced has tried to take my head off, and I've picked them apart.
So according to the odds makers, you are the underdog coming into this fight by a considerable margin. Do you pay attention to that, or do you use that as quote-unquote bulletin board material to fuel yourself ahead of Saturday night's affair?
I've been the underdog my whole career. I've faced people in their backyards. I've beat more undefeated fighters than anybody in boxing. This is another one of those scenarios, and I will come out victorious.
Is this the kind of fight that sort of introduces Giovanni Cabrera to the elite and top-tier contention within the lightweight division?
Absolutely. You know, he had a great fight versus Gervonta, not taking away anything from Pitbull, but he did not win. I'm here to make a statement. You know, everybody says that he deserves a title shot, blah, blah, blah. I'm here to take that from him.
They always say life is about timing. At 28 years of age, are you glad that you got this opportunity now rather than when you were 23, 24?
Absolutely. I wouldn't have been able to handle it. I think I'm starting to peak. I still got lots of room to grow as a fighter. I'm getting better and better. I have the best trainer in the world. I'm 21-0. I'm young. This is it, man. This is my time.
All right, what's your prediction, Giovanni, against Isaac Pitbull Cruz here in Las Vegas on Showtime pay-per-view?
I'm going to dance.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Giovanni Cabrera. He's going to work out for all of you here in Las Vegas, do a little bit of work with his Hall of Fame trainer, Freddie Roach. Congratulations to Freddie and also his lovely wife, Marie, having recently been married. And we will have Giovanni Cabrera work out for all of you here in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Giovanni Cabrera. He's looking to remain undefeated, training under the guidance of the Hall of Fame trainer, Freddie Roach. What a corner he has as he inches closer to his matchup against Isaac Pitbull Cruz, a lightweight title eliminator. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue, we will have another fighter, part of our loaded pay-per-view undercard, joining us coming up in a few short moments. Just to run down the rest of the schedule for events, 2 days from now on Friday at 3 o'clock local time, 6 Eastern, those of you watching on the stream on the Showtime Sports and PBC YouTube page, we will have the ceremonial weigh-in between Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. The guys will step on the scale and face off for the final time as they get ready for their undisputed welterweight championship of the world showdown from T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas. It's all being presented by Premier Boxing Champions, promoted by TGB Promotions, along with Man Down Promotions and TBC Promotions. If you are, for some reason, not going to be here in Las Vegas, The way that you order it, very simple. Call your local cable or satellite provider, or you can go on showtime.com/PPV, or you can buy it on the Showtime app on any supported device and get yourself ready for what will no doubt be a historic night of boxing. Never in the four-belt era has there been an undisputed welterweight champion of the world. On Saturday night, that all changes as one man will remain undefeated and one man will walk out of the T-Mobile Arena with all World 4 Championship belts around him and draped in gold. We will see who is going to claim the mythical title of best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. Also, we're going to begin the night in the super welterweight division. The Cuban prospect, Yoenis Tellez, 5-0 with 4 knockouts. He will match up against the Spaniard, Sergio Garcia. Our next matchup will be for the vacant WBC Bantamweight Championship of the world, as the future Hall of Famer, the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire, will put his skills to the test and try to break his own record and become the oldest Bantamweight champion in history, furthering that legacy, as he will match up against Alexandro Santiago. And then our co-main event, Isaac Pitbull Cruz, will go head-to-head against Giovanni Cabrera, a WBC and lightweight title eliminator. What that means is the winner of that fight will punch their ticket to a world title shot. So that is what is in store on Saturday night. And obviously, we have Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Bud Crawford for all 4 belts. History is on the line on a Saturday night, and we cannot wait for that very evening. Also want to thank our fine sponsors, DraftKings. Action so good, why bet on boxing anywhere else? Also, O'Reilly Auto Parts. It's the ultimate one-stop shop for all your automotive supplies, everything for your vehicle in one convenient place. That's O'Reilly Auto Parts. Also, by the new R-rated comedy Strays in theaters on August 18th. The Legend of Dracula is born. The Last Voyage of the Demeter, only in theaters on August 11th. So make sure, ladies and gentlemen, to support our fine sponsors who are helping to make this entire event happen. Also, if you aren't a Showtime subscriber, we would like for all of you, if you want to see an in-depth look at what these guys are doing as they prepare for fight night and we get ready for Saturday night, you could check out both episodes of Showtime All Access Spence Crawford, an Emmy Award-winning program. It is on the Showtime Sports YouTube page, so make sure to check out both episodes of All Access Spence and Crawford, as you will get a better understanding of what these guys are doing as they get ready to walk that walk at T-Mobile Arena, step inside the ring, the bell will sound, and they are going to go at it. This is the most anticipated fight here in 2023, and they finally come to a climax as they will match up and demonstrate and go at it to prove who is the best man in the welterweight division. Another compelling part to this fight is that in the history of boxing, the welterweight division has always been one of the glamour divisions in the sport. You think about the 80s, Sugar Ray Leonard. Also, you think of Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran. Also, you think of, from the 90s, you think of Oscar De La Hoya, Felix Trinidad, that entire crew. In the 2000s, you think of Floyd Money Mayweather, one of the greatest to ever do it. Also, the great Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Well, here we are in 2023 with the 2 best welterweights on the planet. And now we are going to witness on Saturday night which era this is. Is this going to be the Errol Spence Jr. era? Or will it be the Terence Bud Crawford era? They've been on a collision course for many years. And finally, on Saturday night, all the talking, all the debate, it all ceases, because the bell will ring and we will truly find out in front of our very eyes who is the best welterweight on the planet. That is what is at stake on Saturday night here at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. It's one of those fights, ladies and gentlemen, that you are going to want to be a part of. You do not want to miss it, because I guarantee you that everybody is going to be talking about this fight. Where were you on July 29th, 2023, when you saw Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford put on an instant classic? Now, with that being said, our first pay-per-view fight of the night at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time will feature two super welterweights. Yoenis Tellez will collide against this man who has a record of 34 wins, 2 losses, 14 wins coming by way of knockout. He has put his skills to the test against the likes of Tony Superbad Harrison and Sebastian Fundora, having defeated the likes of Ted Cheeseman and also Sergey Rebchenko. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Torrevelga, Cantabria, España, Spain. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Sergio Garcia. Sergio, it is great to see you once again. First of all, you know, obviously fight week kicked off in grand fashion. What was your experience like yesterday during the grand arrivals, as this place, Las Vegas, is buzzing for Saturday night?
¿Qué tal estuvo la experiencia de ayer? Las Vegas está vibrando. ¿Cómo te sentiste con la gente y el apoyo que te brindó?
No, la verdad que increíble, ¿no? Increíble por todo el apoyo de la gente y por este gran espectáculo. Es un honor para mí estar aquí compartiendo con todos vosotros este espectáculo y nada, dar lo mejor de mí el próximo día.
It was just incredible. I'm so honored to be a part of this with all of you. And all I want to do is put on a great show, because that's what you all deserve, and that's what I hope I can give you on Saturday night.
When did you get here to the United States? Have you been here for quite a bit? Because we know that Spence and Crawford have been here for nearly 2 weeks in preparation for their matchup.
¿Cuándo llegaste a Estados Unidos y dónde te estuviste entrenando antes de llegar acá?
Mi campamento lo he hecho en Reino Unido, en la Universidad de Loughborough, el Loughborough Sport, y llevamos aquí desde el domingo. Ya estamos aclimatados, ya estamos hechos al horario y con ganas de pelear el fin de semana.
I've actually been here only since Sunday. I did my training camp in the UK at the college campus over there, but we're fully acclimated and ready to give our all.
So yesterday you got an opportunity to take a first glance at your opponent face-to-face during the ceremonial stare-down. Is there anything that you observed that you can utilize for Saturday night?
¿Qué observaste de tu oponente en el careo que quizás te puede servir para la pelea del sábado?
Bueno, en el careo tampoco puedo sacar nada en claro. Donde realmente saco cosas en claro es en los vídeos que he visto sobre él y los vídeos que ha visto sobre mí. Al final, hoy en día nos podemos estudiar el uno al otro y luego demostrarlo en el ring.
The face-off didn't really show me that much. I learned a lot from the way I studied him in film, and I'm sure he learned a lot about me by watching film. And then Saturday night, that's going to decide it all.
You have 36 fights on your resume. This will only be his 6th. Are you surprised that he took this fight, and do you feel that your experience is going to be a significant factor in the outcome?
Esta va a ser solamente la 6ª pelea de Yoenis. Tu experiencia es bastante más. ¿Te sorprende que él haya aceptado tomar esta pelea considerando que quizás vos tenés esa ventaja significativa?
No, no me sorprende, porque al final es una oportunidad, es un gran evento y cualquiera sería un sueño para él estar en esta cartelera. Yo ya tenía mi pelea con Ramos, que se ha lesionado la mano, y desde aquí le deseo una pronta recuperación y ojalá podamos hacer esa pelea algún día. Y nada, ahora solo tengo que centrarme en mi rival y no me preocupa nada más.
It doesn't surprise me one bit. Who wouldn't take a fight like this in a card like this on July 29th, regardless of how many fights you've had beforehand? I was going to fight Ramos. I hope he recovers soon, because I do want to fight him in the future, but I'm not surprised one bit that Yoenis went ahead and took this fight against me, and the experience will be just one factor out of many in this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sergio Garcia from Spain, España, in the house. He's going to work out for all of you here at the MGM Grand.
get out? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. 21.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an event we have here at the MGM Grand. Sergio Garcia working out for all of you. Don't forget the weigh-in on Friday. Make sure to get there early, 3 p.m. T-Mobile Arena. It is going to be an amazing atmosphere on Friday. And then Saturday from T-Mobile Arena, it's Errol Spence Jr., Terence Crawford with a loaded undercard. Don't miss the action. Sergio Garcia working out here at the MGM Grand.
Can you hold this for me in Spanish?
Yeah. Sostén esto, por favor.
Sostén esto,
por favor.
son esto.
Give it up one more time, ladies and gentlemen, for Sergio Garcia. Sergio Garcia joining us from Spain. Said he's been here since Sunday. Very much looking forward to his matchup. He was originally supposed to be fighting Jesus Ramos. Ramos unfortunately had to pull out of the fight due to injury, but Garcia did state he would like to fight Jesus Ramos coming up in the soon-to-be future if he's successful with the win over the undefeated Cuban prospect, Yoenis Tellez. Also, Saturday night's event promoted by TGB Promotions. Tom Brown doing a marvelous job, as always, with his daughter, Brittany Goosen Brown, the entire team, making a case right now, Tom Brown, into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2024. We need to make that happen to follow the likes of the late great Dan Goosen, Joe Goosen, and also making sure that Tom Brown gets in there. Tom Brown, one of the brightest minds we've ever had in the history of the sport of boxing. He works harder than anybody I know in the sport. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a special week in the sport of boxing. This has been a special year in boxing. We were here in the springtime in April when Gervonta Davis knocked out Ryan Garcia with a paralyzing body shot. And what energy, what an atmosphere that was. And now we have the two best welterweights in the world stepping inside the ring. And they will go at it in what will no doubt be, I think, a toe-to-toe affair. Which fighter is going to be able to withstand the other's firepower? That is one of the preeminent questions that we will discover on Saturday night from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Awesome. I love the fact that we're starting a little bit earlier, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. So make sure to get to the arena early. If you have tickets to the fight, make sure to get in T-Mobile Arena. I believe our first fight is shortly after 1 o'clock. Our streaming fights come your way at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time. We have a doubleheader on tap for that one, so do not miss our two prelim fights on the Showtime Sports social media pages at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time. Then the pay-per-view comes your way at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. If for some reason you're here in Las Vegas and you can't get inside T-Mobile Arena, well, the MGM Grand, they have you covered, because there will be a special closed-circuit viewing at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. And you know what? This venue, the MGM Grand, has been one of the such a great home to boxing for decades. Since this building opened up in December of 1993, you think about the fights that have taken place between the MGM Grand Garden Arena and T-Mobile Arena. The names of, I recollect in January of 1994 when Julio Cesar Chavez suffered his first loss of his career, losing to the late great Frankie Randall. The likes of Mike Tyson, Floyd Money Mayweather made the MGM Grand his home for years at a time, having defeated the great Manny Pacquiao in the richest prize fight in history back in May of 2015. Also knocking out the likes of Ricky Hatton, also defeating Oscar De La Hoya. Some of the memorable encounters inside the MGM Grand. Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield. Think of Mayweather. You also think of Canelo Alvarez. And really just a special group of legendary fighters who have fought either at the MGM Grand Garden Arena or now T-Mobile Arena, where many events are happening when it comes to prize fights. We were just at T-Mobile Arena in April, sold out crowd. What electricity for Gervonta Davis, and I expect the same, if not more electricity, when you have the two best welterweights stepping inside the ring, going mano a mano, not taking a step back. Who is going to be forced to take that first step back? Again, one of the preeminent questions that we are looking to see and discover once Saturday night unfolds. But it has been a fight years in the making. Now we are just 3 days away until Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford will match up. And you know what? It's interesting because as I look at this fight, to me, I'm curious to see for Errol Spence, he is dealing with, he has such a strong boxer puncher in front of him in Terence Crawford. For Terence Crawford, he has such an aggressive fighter like Errol Spence Jr., a guy who likes to go to the body, attack you. Which guy is going to be able to withstand the other's brilliant attack, and which man is going to be able to impose their will on the other? Also, if there are changes needed to be done in the corners, you have two quality trainers. The 2022 Trainer of the Year, Derek James. What will he tell Errol Spence? What will Brian Bomac McIntyre, who has been with Terence Bud Crawford since the outset, what is he going to be able to do to make those adjustments? I'm sure these trainers have a plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. Will they have to go from plan A to plan B? We will find out on Saturday. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our second pay-per-view fight of the night will be for the vacant WBC Bantamweight Championship of the World. We want to bring up a man who has a record of 27 wins, 3 losses, 5 draws, 14 wins coming by way of knockout. From Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, 27 years of age, having fought for a world title back in 2018. He earned a split draw. He comes to this fight having won 3 in a row. Please welcome from Mexico, Alexandro Santiago. Alexandro, great to see you. How's everything? Alexandro, being a part of Fight Week like this, has it met your expectations? Has it surpassed your expectations?
Alexandro, el formar parte de una semana de la pelea como esta, ¿tus expectativas era que iba a pasar esto o las excedió? ¿No te imaginabas lo que iba a pasar?
Sí, me imaginaba que iba a ser algo grande como esto y pues disfrutando el proceso, disfrutando esto, esperemos que a partir de ahora sean puras cosas buenas así como estas.
It's exactly like I imagined it will be. It's a testament to my progress. And I don't want this to be the last time I'm in an event like this. I hope it's the first of many to come.
Is it contagious to be in an atmosphere like this that motivates you to perform even that much better on Saturday?
El formar parte de una atmósfera como esta, ¿te motiva todavía más para dar lo mejor de vos mismo el sábado por la noche?
Así es, estamos muy motivados, muy contentos y, como te digo, disfrutando el proceso y con muchas ganas de que llegue el sábado.
We're extremely motivated, super pumped up, and ready to show our progress the way that we've trained. We're ready for Saturday night for the fans here.
I know you're a fan of Nonito Donaire, but how are you going to allow that respect to go outside the window and go by the wayside on Saturday to where you can gain this victory and accomplish a lifelong dream and become a world champion?
¿Cómo se hace para separar lo que es la idolatría para Nonito, lo que lo respetás, de saber que tenés que ganar para llegar a tus objetivos de ser campeón mundial y lograr las cosas que querés lograr?
Pues mira, el respeto es abajo del ring, respetamos a Donaire porque sabemos que es un gran peleador, una gran leyenda y pues se respeta, pero arriba del ring, como te digo, tengo esa hambre y tengo ganas de ser campeón del mundo, vamos a hacer todo lo que se pueda para lograrlo.
I respect a legend like Donaire outside the ring fully, no matter what, but inside the ring, my hunger to win is unparalleled and I don't care who is in front of me. I want to beat him because I want to accomplish my dreams.
He has over 2 decades in the sport. You obviously just 27 years of age. In your opinion, will your youth be a significant difference in the fight?
¿Qué tan significativa va a ser la diferencia de edad? ¿Crees que por tu juventud esa es la clave, la dinámica de lo que es tu edad para ganar esta pelea?
Como te dije, Donaire puede tener la edad que tiene, pero sigue siendo peligroso. No hicimos una preparación para pelear con el mejor Nonito y pues igual tengo una ventaja de que yo soy joven, con hambre y con ganas de ser campeón del mundo.
Is it an advantage that I'm young and that that I can do maybe more sprite things, if you will? Yes, but he's a very dangerous fighter regardless of his age. I'm not about to underestimate him because he punches really hard and he can be very dangerous if you let him.
How do you stay away from that left hook? Not necessarily giving away your game plan, but it's clear that he has a vicious left hook.
Sin develar mucho de tu estrategia, obviamente, ¿cómo haces para evadir ese gancho de izquierda que es brutal?
Para eso trabajamos y el sábado por la noche van a ver cómo.
We've worked hard towards avoiding that exact punch, and you're going to see on Saturday night how I managed to avoid it.
Finally, on Saturday night, when you take on Nonito Donaire, assuming things go your way, what would it mean when the ring announcer were to say, and the new WBC Bantamweight Champion of the world, and he announces your name, and you fulfill a lifelong destiny?
¿Te imaginas este momento que ganás contra Donaire y anuncian, y el nuevo campeón, y están por alzar tu brazo? ¿Cómo te imaginas que va a ser ese momento?
Así va a ser el sábado por la noche. Yo trabajé mucho para este momento y se llegó y el sábado se va a hacer.
I pictured exactly like that. My hand raised, me being really happy, and that's what I envisioned, me being the new champion of the division.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Alexandro Santiago. He's going to be working out for all of you here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Alexandro Santiago. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you saw Alexandro Santiago work out. For all of you here in Las Vegas, he will go head-to-head against Nonito Donaire for the vacant WBC Bantamweight Championship of the World as we inch closer to Saturday night for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world between Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Bud Crawford. Both men are undefeated, both men world champions, as they say in prize fighting. Someone's got to go. And oh my goodness, I can only imagine what we are going to see exhibited on Saturday night from T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas. Want to thank our fine sponsors that are being a part of this mega event, a matchup that the world has very much been waiting for, anticipating as we inch closer to what will be a historic night of boxing. For the first time in the four-belt era, there will be an undisputed welterweight champion of the world crowned on Saturday night at T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas. But our fine sponsors, DraftKings Sportsbook, action so good, why bet on boxing anywhere else? O'Reilly Auto Parts is the ultimate one-stop shop for all your automotive supplies, everything for your vehicle in one convenient place. That's O'Reilly Auto Parts. Also brought to you by the new R-rated comedy Strays in theaters on August 18th. Also, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. The Legend of Dracula is born. The Last Voyage of the Demeter, only in theaters on August 11th. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Showtime Sports has been in the midst of a tremendous run. We obviously saw Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia go at it in April. We have seen some riveting matchups. Also, we can talk about the welterweights. Jaron Boots Ennis recently victorious in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Also, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to big prize fights like this, it is a collective effort by so many entities from a promotional standpoint, from a branding standpoint. It's presented by Premier Boxing Champions, promoted by TGP Promotions, along with Man Down Promotions and TBC Promotions. But also we have wonderful PR people. It's, the MGM Grand working very hard, Showtime Sports. Also, you have just a wonderful group of talented individuals behind the scenes, matchmakers, personnel, et cetera, But a part of that, with these big pay-per-view events, is making sure that we have media from around the country, around the world, that is here to cover this event. And it's known as Radio Row. And over the course of the transition from the Gervonta Davis-Ryan Garcia fight ending to Errol Spence and Terence Bud Crawford, such a pioneer when it comes to behind the scenes, when it comes to Radio Row. One of our very dear friends, Tracy Bowden, passed away, and we certainly dedicate this entire fight week and Radio Row to Tracy Bowden and her entire family. She helped to put together and organize Radio Row. So this week for Spence Crawford and Radio Row, dedicated to the memory of Tracy Bowden. Tracy, we miss you so much, and you live on our hearts forever. So thank you very much to Tracy. We miss her so much, and this week dedicated to her memory. But, ladies and gentlemen, on Saturday night, we have a loaded night of boxing. The streaming fights start at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time. We got Steve Nelson from Omaha, 18-0, 15 knockouts. He will be in action. And then our pay-per-view card transpires 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. And it'll feature a matchup in the super welterweight division. Yoenis Tellez will match up against Sergio Garcia. Then, for the vacant WBC Bantamweight Championship of the World, the future Hall of Famer, the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire, will put his skills to the test against Alexandro Santiago. Co-main event, Isaac Pitbull Cruz will do battle against none other than Giovanni Cabrera. And judging by yesterday's face-off, oh my goodness, they don't like each other. Oh, they were intense. I felt the heat up there. I felt the energy, and not the heat from the 100 degrees plus that's outside here in Las Vegas, but literally by the animosity that is building between Isaac Cruz and Giovanni Cabrera. Cruz is focused punching his ticket to a second world title shot. When it comes to Cabrera, he wants to prove that he belongs at this level. He feels that the time is now. He's training under the guidance of the Hall of Fame trainer, Freddie Roach, and he believes he has all the tools necessary in order to upend one Isaac Pitbull Cruz. When it comes to Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford, both guys who have been on similar paths, but as they say, up until recently, they were on opposite sides of the street when it comes to promotional entities, when it comes to networks. But now, both men competing under the Premier Boxing Champions banner, fighting here on Showtime pay-per-view on Saturday night. Finally, we get the matchup that the world has been waiting for, anticipating for. They always say that life and in prize fights, it's about timing. And I think that this fight, Errol Spence Jr. told me yesterday during the Grand Revivals that this fight happened at the right time. He believes that this is the perfect time for this fight to be happening. We obviously see from the energy here in the crowd, but Las Vegas, I want to get your thoughts. We saw Terence Crawford earlier, but I want to find out from you, who are you going to be cheering for on Saturday night? Are you going to be cheering for the WBO welterweight champion from Omaha, 39-0, 30 knockouts, Terence Bud Crawford? Make some noise, Las Vegas. If you're here to support 28-0, 22 knockouts, the WBC, IBF, and WBA welterweight champion of the world, Errol the Truth Spence Jr., make some noise. It's a great response for Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Well, I can't wait to see how the rest of the week unfolds, especially at the weigh-in. Ladies and gentlemen, the weigh-ins are special. I mean, you want to be a part. You're all here for the media workouts. We want you to join us for the weigh-in on Friday, 3 Pacific time at T-Mobile Arena. That's 6 Eastern for those of you watching on the stream. That'll be at T-Mobile Arena. Make sure to join us. Get there early and check out the weigh-in. It's so much fun. Just the energy. It gets you that much more amped up for what Saturday night is going to bring. So make sure to get to the weigh-in and then get to T-Mobile Arena early because, listen, this is a ticket. It is one of the hottest tickets that we've seen in recent memory here in Las Vegas. And these two guys are going to put on a classic. It's one of those fights where it's a throwback fight. It's one of those matchups where people are going to be talking about for years and years and years. And also, we want you to partake in the conversation on social media. All you have to do is use the hashtag Spence Crawford. Use the hashtag Spence and Crawford. Follow us at Premier Boxing, also at Showtime Sports, and join us in the social media conversation. Plus, throughout the week here at the MGM Grand, one thing that you want to do when you go home after the fight, you want to have official Spence Crawford merchandise. We got you covered. Buy a t-shirt, buy a poster, buy a boxing glove. Make sure to get there and join us and take home a few mementos for your family and friends. And you could say, I was there on July 29 for Spence Crawford. That is what you want to be able to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will continue with our media workouts. We got our fine DJ D Miles, doing an amazing job as always. The best DJ on the planet. Looking forward to what D Miles is going to bring over the next couple of days as well. And you know what? Being in this business, being around prize fighting for a living, fights like this have extra added meaning. They are special because you have two guys who are just absolute warriors. These guys are the epitome of prize fighters. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. are pros. They have a mutual respect between one another, which is something that I like. But they understand that a part of their legacy will be furthered if they are victorious on Saturday. So it's not only for welterweight supremacy. It's not only to make history by becoming the first undisputed welterweight champion of the world in the 4-belt era. But it is for the opportunity to say, I am the best welterweight of this era here in the 2020s. And that is what is up for grabs on Saturday night between Spence and Crawford. These two guys know that a win over the other is so significant in their careers. Awesome. Here's something to take note of, because this very rarely happens, but there is an automatic rematch clause on both men's behalf. So both men can enact the rematch clause if, assuming they want to do so. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we want to bring up to the MGM Grand a terrific fighter who made some noise by going the distance in a losing effort. What a battle he had against Gervonta Davis back in December of 2021 at what is now called Crypto.com Arena, home of the Los Angeles Lakers. His record, 24 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Since losing to Gervonta back in December of 2021, he has scored explosive knockout victories, looking to win 3 straight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Mexico City, my amigo, the great Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Isaac, great to see you. Now, Isaac, yesterday, the fans went just ballistic for you. They were showering you with their admiration and wanting to take photos. You couldn't go 1 or 2 steps. Tell us about the reception that you got from the fans here in Vegas.
Mirá la gente acá, no puedes dar 2 pasos sin que te pidan una foto, es una locura. ¿Cómo te sentís cuando te tratan de esta manera tan linda?
Pues es una manera muy agradable y no tengo palabras para agradecer todas las muestras de apoyo y de cariño de toda la gente.
It's so cool, it's so nice the way that you have all treated me. I have no words to say how thankful I am to all of you here for all the love.
I was fortunate I was around you. I've been around you for several years since you wiped out Diego Magdaleno back in October of 2020 on the undercard of Gervonta Davis when he beat Leo Santa Cruz. But I remember when you came here for your promoter's fight, Manny Pacquiao, when he fought Yordenis Ugas in his final pro fight. And you were walking around here at the MGM Grand. No one was bothering you. You were just a fan and a fighter to support your promoter. Now, everywhere you go, you're hounded. How has life changed in that regard?
Bueno, cuando viniste a la pelea de Pacquiao contra Ugas, vos caminabas por el MGM Grand y nadie te molestaba. Ahora llegas a caminar por acá y no te dejan tranquilo. ¿Cómo ha cambiado tu vida desde aquel entonces hasta ahora?
Pues ha sido una transformación muy grande, muy bonita. Y bueno, nosotros venimos muy bien preparados para darle a todo el público lo que merece una gran pelea.
It's been truly a fantastic change, a big transformation for me in my life. But boxing-wise, I'm fully prepared and I'm ready to give the fans what they deserve. A great show on Saturday night.
Okay, so, I asked you yesterday, but, you've had a day to process it. The face-off yesterday was a bit heated. I had to get in the middle of you two. I didn't want to, but it's what duty called upon. He said, and he's pretty amped up, but what did you sense from that intense face-off?
¿Qué pasó ayer? Que acá pobre Rey se tuvo que meter en el medio y medio como que tuvo que separar. Intenso el asunto. ¿Cómo fue el careo de ayer y qué viste de Giovanni como oponente? Él está muy emocionado por esta pelea.
Sí, totalmente. Nosotros también venimos muy bien, muy concentrados y por supuesto muy bien enfocados en el plan de trabajo.
Look, the face-off is the face-off. We're fully focused. We're doing our work. We're ready to fight. And then just Saturday night, that's going to be the truly intense stuff.
It's no secret that Giovanni Cabrera has an unorthodox style. How are you planning on combating that?
¿Cómo pensás contrarrestar el estilo poco ortodoxo de pelea que tiene Giovanni Cabrera?
Hacer una pelea inteligentemente y no entrar a su juego.
I'm just going to have to be smart, not get into his game. Let me dictate the rhythm.
How much are you craving that second world title shot?
¿Qué tanto anhelás esa segunda oportunidad por el título mundial?
Es un anhelo muy grande y un sueño que no hay margen de error para poderlo cumplir este mismo año.
It's my biggest wish, the greatest opportunity. There's no margin for error. I gotta give it my all.
I look at your age. You're only 25 years of age, but do you feel like a young veteran in there? Because you've been around for 3 years and you've had some big fights, obviously fighting Gervonta Davis on a couple of weeks' notice in December of 2021, and now in the battle that you had within, I'm sure you learned quite a bit.
A los 25 años te sentís como un veterano, más allá de que sos joven todavía, has tenido peleas importantes como contra Gervonta Davis, y sentís que has madurado muchísimo en los últimos años.
Sí, claro, totalmente. Creo que las grandes peleas que le hemos hecho frente a los grandes peleadores es lo que nos ha dado la madurez de agarrar la experiencia adecuada.
You know, the big fights, the big moments that I've gone through have definitely helped me mature, and the quality opponents that I've had have made me better ever since I fought them, and I look forward to continue doing that.
Obviously, being from Mexico, you're proud of your heritage, that amazing country and boxing tradition. What would you like to tell the Mexican fight fans?
Palabras para el público mexicano que te está viendo en este momento.
Pues agradecerles sus muestras de apoyo y de cariño y vamos por todo y a dejarlo todo arriba del ring el sábado 29 de julio.
Thank you for the love. Thank you for everything. I'm going to be representing you inside the ring on Saturday night, giving it my all, going for the win.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Isaac Pitbull Cruz. It's going to work out for all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Isaac Pitbull Cruz working out for all of you here in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand.
Vaya por dos preguntas con Showtime y después la media.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Isaac Pitbull Cruz working out here in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. The Pitbull, no doubt, ready for his impending showdown against Giovanni Cabrera. And Pitbull doesn't seem to be fazed whatsoever from the intense stare downs that we are seeing between him and his adversary in Giovanni Cabrera. You know, the lightweight division right now, you think of the names of Gervonta Davis, who has been phenomenal, and we don't know what's going to happen with the rest of the division based on champions that are moving up or where they're going, but we do know that Gervonta, from our standpoint, appears to be here at 135, and obviously, I was in Los Angeles, and many of you witnessed it on Showtime pay-per-view when Gervonta Davis had his showdown against Isaac Pitbull Cruz back in December of 2021. Now, Davis pulled out the fight and did win in front of nearly 15,000 fans at Crypto.com Arena. But it's a fight in which it's sort of stamped Isaac Cruz's official arrival as being an elite lightweight in the world. Before that, he was a bit of an unknown quantity. Now, the fight that, and I brought it up to him, that stood out to me when I first met Isaac Pitbull Cruz is when he finished off Diego Magdaleno with just a vicious body attack in October of 2020. That was on the undercard of Gervonta Davis, Leo Santa Cruz at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. And when I saw that fight, nobody does that to Diego Magdaleno. And the fact that Isaac Cruz was able to do it in under 3 minutes time just blew my mind. And then he would come up and in December of 21 got a massive opportunity on a couple weeks notice, short notice. Goes in there and tests Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis proved the kind of champion that he is, having to dig deep and prevailing with the victory. But from that, Isaac Cruz became such a fan favorite. You see here by the attention he's getting from the media, by the fans, the fan support in Mexico, by all of you here in Las Vegas. I mean, it really is just incredible to see it. And I brought up the story with Isaac Cruz about when I saw him prior to Manny Pacquiao's last professional prize fight, when he came up short against Yordenis Ugas during fight week, because Manny Pacquiao is Isaac Cruz's promoter. Isaac Cruz came in and he was walking around the MGM Grand and no one was really coming up to him. A few fans came up to him, but he was sort of just enjoying himself. Now, because of what he's been able to do in the ring since that Gervonta Davis fight, following it up with 2 electrifying knockouts, people come and he's getting hounded, and really everyone wants his attention and they want a piece of the pit bull. And I think he's taking it in stride because he realizes that he is among the elite in the lightweight division. And when you think about prize fighting from the country of Mexico, the lightweight division has certainly been an impressive, one of those divisions that Mexican prize fighters do have success in. And Isaac Pitbull Cruz is looking to follow in the lineage of his predecessors. In order for him to challenge for a world title, though, he's got to get past Giovanni Cabrera. Now, from a sportsbook standpoint, Isaac Cruz is a significant favorite. But we all know that when the bell rings on Saturday night, all of that goes out the window. And for Isaac Cruz, with all the expectations, he's hunting Gervonta Davis. He's hunting a world title opportunity. But all the contenders underneath him, they are hunting Isaac Pitbull Cruz because they know how big that opportunity is. And now I want to bring up, I saw him yesterday, but great to see him again, joining us to break down Errol Spence Jr., Terence Crawford. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for the 2-time welterweight champion of the world, Showtime Sean Porter, ladies and gentlemen. Does it ever get old to you hearing the cheers from the fans?
It doesn't. It never gets old, and I've just been hanging out most of the day or whatever. I got somebody over here. We just had a debate about this fight, and he's like, tell the truth, Sean, tell the truth. I don't know what the truth is. It's going to be a great fight, man. You know this.
Well, I mean, it obviously, I mean, we've been around some big events. You've been around, you headline big events, but from an observer standpoint, how does this fight week compare to others that you've seen in recent memory here in Las Vegas?
Shout out to the Porterweight Podcast. Please take your phones out, subscribe on YouTube. That's what I'm doing over there. We were just over there talking about it. This is bigger than even Tank and Ryan's media workout.
Really?
There's more people in here right now excited about what's going to go down on Saturday night than even Tank and Ryan. We already know that was a blockbuster hit right there.
Is there anything that can top 50-50 fights? Because when I'm thinking about this fight, one day I wake up and I'm like, Errol's going to win. The next day I wake up, Terence is going to win. The next day I wake up, I'm like, it's going to be a heck of a draw, which I know will upset people, but hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. But what are your philosophy on the fight?
I prefer the 70-30 fights. That way, when people ask me questions, I can just answer the question and keep it moving, man. This one is just, you're going to argue until you blue in the face about this one. You know, it is truly what you would consider a 50-50 fight because everything from both of these guys are capable physically, mentally, emotionally, the whole nine. Two guys who carry a poker face. I never seen either one of them hurt, bothered, frustrated, anything in the ring with me. Maybe one moment with Errol, but that moment came and went very, very quickly, and we seen how he handled that, you know? So, I mean, I just think that overall, man, this is what boxing is all about, and I'm excited for it.
Getting into the mind of the fighters, is there anything that you can take away from their demeanor during the grand arrivals? I don't know if you saw Terence earlier when he came inside the ring and he was very happy, he was jovial. Are you picking up away and seeing anything that stands out to you as to say, okay, this is an attribute that he has, or this is how Errol's doing, or this is how Terence is doing?
I think normally what you want to see in a weigh-in, press conference, obviously the grand arrival yesterday, you want to see that fighter be himself. If that fighter is stuttering, if that fighter doesn't want to take pictures, if that fighter is short-winded and just looking to get off this, whatever the case may be, when you see a fighter performing different, that's when you know, like, hey, something's up with this guy, you know? Something's not clicking the way it's supposed to. Both these guys are normal, which is a great sign for us because that means things are working well now. They should work well all the way up until that first bell.
How do you balance during a big fight week like this, focusing on the task at hand? You're a proud family man. Terence is, Errol is as well. How do you balance being a dad, being a husband, but being a prize fighter? Because let's be real, you guys are risking your overall health when you step inside this ring.
Think about it like medicine. You know, too much medicine and something bad's gonna happen. Not enough medicine, it's like you're not getting any better. We need this. We need to feel this energy. We need to feel the excitement of the crowd and things like that. But too much of it, and then we start to give our own energy away. You know what I mean? So it's like I always like to say, we want to feed off this energy, and we don't want to give any of it back out, you know? So I like what I saw Terence did. He came in here, gave you like 5-10 minutes, and then he's right back in the room until they escorted him out. You know, enough to feel the crowd, feel what's going to happen, what's going on. And like he said, man, this is all cool, but I'm waiting on that first bell. You know, at the end of the day, they are here to do a job.
When you see a crowd like this and you hear the roar, and how do you not allow this crowd to get the best of you and the moment to get the best of you and focus on the task at hand? Because this is not easy for anybody, and to be at this level is just something that is very unique, which is why we're so enamored with prize fighting.
It's not easy, and I like, I'll use an analogy like cartoons. You know how the cartoon, you never see what's in the background. You only see what's right there in front of you. You know, and that's the kind of, when we talk about tunnel vision, you know, you never see the train coming out of the tunnel. You just know that it came out, you know. And so the same thing with these fighters, you know. These people have to be gray. Every now and then we'll be able to see faces and see those smiles. We'll be able to hear voices. But for the most part, especially on fight night, everybody's got to be gray. And you have to be able to feel the crowd, but not play into the crowd. Definitely feel your corners and play into everything that the corner is telling you to do. And I think that this fight really, it could come down to what adjustments are made round after round.
It's hard for me to sleep as we get ready for Saturday night. How did you find a way to get your rest when you have all this energy, all this attention around you as everyone is so excited and getting ready for Saturday night?
I always say that was the easy part. You know, the sleeping and all of those things were the easy part. You know, the work that you do leading up into the fight, that's the hard part. You know, you want to work so hard that fight night is even easy, you know, but the walkout is the walkout. Everything is just what it is, and it's just, again, about that tunnel vision, you know? And I want to go back to the fight itself. I think there's going to be maybe 3 or 4 big adjustments made in this fight, and then the fight's going to end up being what it is, you know? I think that there's going to be maybe an adjustment, maybe in the second round, if not definitely the third, maybe another one, a round or two after that, and then another big adjustment, and whoever's leading at that point is going to take over.
So it's as they say when it comes to both you and I are football fans, it's like a football game. There are those 3 or 4 moments that determine whether or not you're going to win or lose. Is that what you're alluding to when it comes to this particular fight?
Absolutely. I don't think that there's going to be a Hail Mary pass in this one needed. I think that it's going to be close all the way until the end. And but at the same time, I do think that if the team comes out passing and they decide, hey, I'm going to put my head down and I'm going to run this ball, Errol Spence Jr., I'm just going to put my head down and go after him like he did against Ugas, that was one big adjustment. And then he just took over, you know? So that's what I'm talking about, like one adjustment like that, and then what does Terence respond with? There's 2, maybe 3 big adjustments going to be made, and then the fight's going to be what it is, man.
Sometimes there are fights where you know that the guys say, I'm going to go toe-to-toe with them, but you know, in reality, that's not the case. I think it is a foregone conclusion. It's almost guaranteed that we are going to get a couple of signature exchanges where these guys go toe-to-toe, mano a mano, to prove who is the baddest dude at 147. Do you anticipate that?
I think both those guys, they hear the 10-second clap, and they try to initiate if the moment's there. If it's not, I've seen them both let it go. In the ring with me, I've seen them both let it go. And I can see moments where if one of them feels like, I got to close this round, they're going to go for it, and the other one's going to be right there with it, you know. But I think it's going to be more tactical for the 5 rounds. I think it's going to be more tactical than anything. I think that we see the animosity that they have. We see the energy that they have about one another. But at the end of the day, they're both extremely intelligent. And intelligence does not say, go get them. Intelligence says, be smart when I go get them, you know?
One of the best welterweights ever, one of the best fighters ever, Floyd Money Mayweather, was notorious for being able to make those subtle adjustments. How important is it to not only have a plan A, but a plan 1A, plan B, plan 1B, plan C, plan D?
Yeah, I think that's necessary, you know, and I'm even going to contradict myself. I said there's going to be 3 to 4 adjustments made, but we could have some really, really small adjustments made from a standpoint of one wanting to counterpunch, the other one wanting to move and use the ring. I mean, I think that both guys are going to have to pull out everything they got in the toolbox. And if I had to say one of them has more in the toolbox, I think that it's possible that we haven't seen everything that Terence can do. I think that Errol is an aggressive fighter. This is who I am. I'll counterpunch if I need to, but at the end of the day, this is where I'm most effective. I'm most comfortable coming after you. I'll take a little bit to give it, and that's who he is. You know, I think with Terence, he has the ability to maybe make some more subtle adjustments than that, but I mean, I just think that, man, even from an X's and O's perspective, we're going to be looking at some high, fast chess, and we're going to be seeing some stuff that we're like, oh, where did that come from? You know?
Do you think they'll be a part of the fight? Because I think that, and I do believe that they're going to have to make those subtle adjustments where they might say, you know what, the heck with the adjustments, center of the ring, go head-to-head, put your head down, and just prove who's the baddest dude on the planet. Do you anticipate that?
That is, I think, one of two things are going to happen. Either there's the silent agreement, hey, here we are, let's go. Or one of them's going to say, hey, right here, meet me right here. And the other one ain't going to back down. You know what I mean? I think that, again, there's a separation, a very small separation between intelligence and pride. And both of them got a whole lot of both, you know? Kick that intelligence out the window, and we got nothing but pride. That means right here in the middle of the ring, and who's ever standing, it is what it is.
I don't know how you guys do that. How do you maintain your composure when you're like, you know what, enough of the intelligence, I'm a bad man, you know what, try to beat me.
And we've seen Derek James do this. Derek has an ability to really get through to his fighters. He sees his fighter not doing what he's asking him to do, and he'll keep drilling that, keep asking for it different ways, you know? So I think even from that standpoint, we could see Derek really getting into the mind and the ears of Errol and saying, hey, no, not yet. And Errol will understand, hey, I got to be smart, you know? So I think even from that standpoint, man, now we're talking about game planning. Who's got the best game plan, you know?
Well, I mean, they're both quality trainers. We know Derek James, the 2022 Trainer of the Year. I mean, the kind of litany of top guys that he has. Errol Spence, Jermell Charlo, the unified super welterweight champion of the world on a collision course against Canelo Alvarez, end of September. You know, he's got Anthony Joshua, Ryan Garcia. I mean, talk about a list of names that guy has in his stable.
Hell of a list. Keeps him busy. Not only keeps him busy, but it keeps his mind busy. which means even coming into this fight with Errol, where you would think, oh, he's got a lot of guys, how focused can he be on Errol? No. Don't get it wrong. Like, this is for Undisputed. He's extremely focused. But don't get it twisted. He's working with other guys. And so he sees something that his other guy can do. He's like, oh, maybe we can use that in his fight against Terence, you know? So, again, when you're talking about game planning and who's more prepared, you got one coach working with a whole bunch of guys that bring different things to the ring. He can pull different things from that fighter and give it to the chameleon in Errol Spence Jr. And then you got another coach who's working with guys who are very similar, and how much can he pull from those guys and give it to Terence, you know?
Meantime, on the opposite side, Brian McIntyre, you know, he has a fighter on the prelim, Steve Nelson, that is early in the day at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time. He's one of the featured fights on the streaming. That might be a longer day for Brian McIntyre. Is that a good thing for Crawford, a bad thing, or does it not matter?
Doesn't matter for Crawford. Crawford's going to stay in his room until he's got to come to the locker room. He'll be in the locker room until he's got to come to the fight. You know, Bo Mac is going to handle the business. Best thing that can happen is they get a first-round knockout, and that sends Bo Mac into the room with a lot of energy, you know, but that's nothing for Terence. Terence is focused on him.
Aside from fight night, what was your favorite part of fight week?
Man, I love all this. I'm a little bit different from a lot of the other fighters. I love seeing the fans. I love being able to greet the fans, spend time with the fans, all that. So this is what I'm here for. That's why I got the podcast.
Look, I love this sport so much, and I mentioned this yesterday, but it bears repeating. What I think makes combat sports so special is that you can come to the MGM Grand, and a couple of days before you guys step inside the ring, be within arm's reach of you, or maybe get a selfie with Errol Spence or Terence Crawford, or at least get a photo of them. Do you go ahead and you don't get that? If you're a Laker fan, you're not going to be able to go watch LeBron James practice. If you're a Bear fan, I can't watch Justin Fields go and practice at Hallis Hall prior to a big matchup against the Packers. How special is this to be able to have all the fans here and have this kind of accessibility to the athletes?
I was in Brooklyn, and I was at Gleason's gym. Shout out to Gleason's gym. There's a kid came into the locker room, and he see me weighing in, and he's just stopped, and he's like, man, this is why I love boxing. This is the only sport where you can go into the locker room and see your favorite fighter. And it just kind of, that's what boxing is. You know, you can see us, you can touch us. We're not too far away. And granted, when it ain't fight week, we ain't got too many security around us that you can't, you know, get a handshake or a picture, you know?
Sean, always a pleasure. Porterway Podcast, right?
The Porterway Podcast.
The Porterway Podcast.
Appreciate it.
Subscribe. Make sure to listen. The best analyst in the business. Showtime Sean Porter, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate Sean Porter with his outstanding time and breaking down this impending matchup. I want to bring up with a record of 5-0, 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Joining us from Cuba, here is Yoenis Tellez. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Yoenis Tellez. That's it. We got Martine Botter here to translate. Yoenis, as we continue with Fight Week festivities, day 2, what was yesterday like for you?
Día 2 de la semana de la pelea. ¿Cómo fue el día de ayer, el primero para vos? Está impresionante, ¿verdad?
Bueno, para mí fue algo nuevo porque un poco nervioso, nunca había estado frente a tanta gente y creo que sí, para mí fue algo súper genial.
It was something new for me. To be honest, I was a bit nervous. I have never been in front of this many people before, but it was so great.
The obviously having to deal with this kind of attention, it's not easy. How do you balance that and use that to your benefit on Saturday?
¿Cómo vas a balancear la atención que está recibiendo de la gente con la concentración que necesitas para pelear el sábado?
Bueno, creo que hacerlo, prepararme psicológicamente, ponerle mente positiva y pensar, enfocarme en lo que verdaderamente quiero, que es salir victorioso el sábado.
It's about having a positive mindset and focusing on what I want to do on Saturday night, getting the win. With the support of the people, that's what I want to do.
You are 5-0 performance coming by way of knockout. Another super middleweight standout from Cuba, David Morrell, making a name for himself as well. Do you look up to Morrell, and do you kind of see what he was able to do and capture a world title before he achieved his first 10 fights? I mean, is that something that you are focused on trying to do yourself?
En el boxeo cubano hay otro ejemplo como David Morrell, quien también llegó acá a Estados Unidos y antes de llegar a 10 peleas ya ganó un título mundial. Cuando lo ves, ¿pensás yo también puedo? ¿Lo ves como un ejemplo a seguir?
Pues claro, decir que es un gran amigo mío, tengo el apoyo de él y sí, pues claro, es mi meta a seguir, es un ejemplo a seguir y creo que ese es lo que todo cubano quiere, seguir los pasos de David Morrell.
David's actually a great friend of mine, hi to him as well, of course, and he's an example I want to follow because he has achieved so much and been such a great inspiration to me that I definitely want to replicate what he has done throughout his career so far.
Did he tell you anything in preparation for this fight week in Las Vegas? He looked dominant when he wiped out Yamaguchi Falcao in the co-main event of Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia back in April.
¿Te dio algún consejo, David, como amigo, ya que él dominó, fascinó cuando noqueó a Falcao en el evento coesteral de Gervonta la otra vez? ¿Te dio algún consejo él?
Sí, siempre me da buenos consejos, incluso compartimos gimnasio y yo siempre tengo su apoyo, independientemente del equipo de trabajo, de mi equipo completo, sí, tengo su apoyo.
¿Y qué te aconsejó?
En todo. Siempre me aconseja en todo. Lo que la mente, tengo que tener mente positiva, saber que me voy a enfrentar a un gran público, una gran noche, en una cartelera tan importante y siempre me ha apoyado principalmente con eso, mucha psicología, tener mente positiva.
David has always been there for me. He's a great friend, a great mentor, and we focus mostly on the mental stuff, what I was talking about, the positive mindset. You know, turning the fan support into something productive for me, not being overwhelmed by the atmosphere, and just going out there with the will to win in a positive manner.
36 fights Sergio Garcia has. You are barely embarking on your 6th. Why take a fight like this at this stage of your career?
¿Por qué embarcarte en una cartelera como esta tan grande contra un oponente mucho más experimentado que vos a esta altura de tu carrera cuando quizás podrías tomar menos riesgos?
Bueno, primero que todo decir que yo creo que tengo el suficiente nivel y la suficiente calidad para aceptar esta pelea, ya que mi equipo de trabajo depositó la confianza en mí y yo creo que sí, además de ser una cartelera tan importante como esta, yo creo que es imposible rechazar algo así como esto. Es una oportunidad muy grande para mí.
I'm good enough, I'm skilled enough, I am hungry enough to take on something like this. And when you have an opportunity to fight in a not big, huge card like this one, it's impossible to turn it down.
Give me your prediction on Saturday night against Sergio Garcia.
¿Cuál es tu predicción para tu pelea contra Sergio Garcia el sábado por la noche?
Bueno, para esa noche tenemos grandes cosas pensadas para hacer esa noche. Ahora mismo, si te digo, no sabría qué decirte porque son muchas cosas que queremos hacer esa noche.
There are so many things that we want to do that night that I can't tell them all right now. But we're going to put on a show, and you're going to see me just show out on Saturday night.
All right, we're going to allow Yoenis Tellez to work out for all of you. Make some noise for the undefeated Cuban. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Yoenis Tellez working out for all of you here. He'll take on Sergio Garcia. 5-0 with 4 knockouts, Yoenis Tellez. Give it up for Yoenis Tellez, ladies and gentlemen, working out for all the fans. He'll match up against Sergio Garcia. All right, so we will allow Yoenis Tellez to exit the ring. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest, an undefeated top lightweight contender who I know will be watching the co-main event between Isaac Pitbull Cruz and Giovanni Cabrera. He is promoted under the Man Down Promotions banner that is led by the WBC, WBA, and IBF welterweight champion of the world, Errol Spence Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of the fastest rising lightweights on the planet, originally from Indianapolis, Indiana. Here is the Ghost, Frank Martin. Great to see you, Frank. How are you? Being here with not only your friend, but your promoter, Errol Spence Jr., your trainer, Derek James. How much are you soaking in all of Fight Week?
I'm soaking in everything. You know, it's a blessing to be out here. You know, it's a blessing to be a part of history as well. You know what I mean? And just seeing all the hard work that Errol been putting in, you know, is dope. I'm picking up everything.
So, as you are watching all this and seeing, Errol always has mentioned to us that he wants his big Vegas moment, his name on the marquee, headlining a big pay-per-view. Well, here he goes, this opportunity on Saturday. When you're watching that, how much are you like, okay, this is Errol's time, but I want my moment in the near future where I'm a pay-per-view headliner, where I'm here in Vegas, where everyone's coming to watch my fight?
You know, it's just dope to see, you know, his dreams coming true. You know, the things that he want, you know, seeing them come true is dope, and I'm a part of that, you know, so it's super motivating for me, you know, so I'm just feeding off his energy, you know, just being here and being a part of everything that's going on right now.
Yesterday, I saw Errol, we spoke to him, and he said that he expects a blood and guts kind of a fight. Is this the most motivated and the most focused you've ever seen Errol Spence heading into a fight in the time you've been around him?
He motivated for sure, you know, all the little things, you know, he's doing all the little things he's supposed to do. You know, so, man, he ready to go.
What do you think is going to be the difference in the fight between Spence and Crawford? Not giving away a game plan, but...
Just the little things, you know, who make the less mistakes. You know what I mean? All the little things.
Well, when it comes to the little things, the one thing that is a part of that and really focusing on the little things is the trainer that you guys are under, the 2022 Trainer of the Year, Derek James. How much do you learn under Derek on a consistent basis? Because he's been with Errol since the outset. They have been a winning tandem for well over a decade. But what do you pick up and take away from Derek James?
Just understanding. You know, as a fighter, you know, sometimes we fight and some guys don't know what they're doing there in the ring. So, you know, Derek bring that understanding, slow everything down, you know, just the understanding aspect. I know everything that I'm doing when I'm in the ring, when to do it and why to do it.
What did you learn from your previous matchup a couple of weeks ago? You were able to prevail. You put down your opponent in the 12th round to solidify the victory. But what did you take away as we're a week and a half removed from your outing?
Really, man, just, you know, every fight ain't going to be a walkthrough. You know, sometimes you're going to have tough fights. You know, you just got to dig deep. You know, that my last fight I had to dig deep. You know, I had to bring that dog out.
Are you paying attention to Isaac Pitbull Cruz and Giovanni Cabrera? That's a lightweight title eliminator. Do you think that, depending on what happens, that the winner of that fight might be a future opponent in the very near future for you?
Most definitely, you know. If the fans want that fight, I want the fight. You know, so, you know, we on the same side, so we can make the fight happen out of the winner, I'm with it.
So do you believe that you would get an immediate title shot, or do you think that that might be next, or you're just cool with whatever's next?
I'm looking for a title. You know, I want a title next. I done fought 2 title eliminators, so I want a title.
For fight fans around the world and just general sports fans, why is Spence Crawford such a special fight?
Because you got 2 elite great fighters in there. You know, you got a fight that's, you know, one of the biggest fights in probably like the last decade, you know, so you got 2 real fighters in there that's finna dance, and, you know, they both heavy hitters, so.
How do you guys maintain your incredible work ethic in that gym? Because, I mean, when I watch Errol train, I'm mesmerized. He looks like a machine. When I watch you train, you're very much a machine, and you guys don't seem to get tired. What is the recipe and the formula how you guys don't get exhausted or tired whatsoever?
Man, that's just what we do. You know, that's what we do. That's what we're about. You know, we put in the hard work. You know, Derek gonna push it to the limit, so we just put that work in.
Do you anticipate some toe-to-toe exchanges between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford? Because I feel like that is a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's gonna be those rounds where they get it in. You know, it's going to be explosive rounds. Yeah, I do see that.
Errol is the underdog coming into this fight. Is that something that motivates him, or does he not pay any attention to it?
I feel like it's all motivation, you know. It's all motivation.
What are you doing as a part of Team Spence? I mean, do you guys try to keep him relaxed and loose and joke around? Do you guys talk strategy? You know, kind of give us and, you know, break down that fourth wall and give us a better introspective look at Errol Spence. I mean, how do you guys, what's your level of dialogue?
I mean, Errol, you know, he's been doing this for a while, you know, so we just here, you know, working out and stuff like that before. As far as the mental and all that, he mentally where he need to be. You know, he could do that on his own, and that's what he do. You know, we just here for, you know, the support and just working along with him. You know, just getting the workouts in and stuff with him.
Is it great for you, Frank, to be around Errol? You know, you've been around him for years, but really be a part of this experience with him, to see him like, okay, this is how he did Grand Arrivals. This is how he did the media workouts, the satellite tours, Radio Row, press conference, weigh in, and focus on the fight.
Yeah, you know, it's his time right now, but I'm paying attention, you know, seeing how everything go for when it's my time.
So you were victorious 2 weeks ago. You know, you're in Las Vegas. You're obviously supporting your teammate, Errol Spence. Is Frank Martin able to have some fun this week, or are you, like, pretty much in camp side by side with Errol? And, you know, obviously you'll be able to, you know, assuming he handles business on Saturday, will you then celebrate Saturday after the fight?
Absolutely, we're going to celebrate after the fight. So,
but right now, no fun for Frank Martin.
Ain't no fun right now until we get this business done.
All right, Frank, in a perfect world, before I let you go, if you could have, and there was a blank contract, and you could fight any guy on the planet in your next fight, who would that be?
Hey, I want the champions, you know what I mean? I stopped doing all the name dropping, you know, I want the champions. Everybody know who the top 5 guys is, the top 3, whoever, you know, whoever will want to, you know, dance with me and lace them gloves up, you know, I'm with it.
All right, give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for the Ghost, Frank Martin in the house, a part of Man Down Promotions. Greatly appreciate Frank and his time. Frank Martin, no doubt, one of the best lightweights in the world. I tried to get him to give me a name, but he said he wants to fight any of the top guys in the division, and I believe him, because Frank Martin has never shied away from anybody and is such a difficult opponent for anybody, no matter who steps inside the ring with him. And, you know, Frank is here very much focused on business with his teammate Errol Spence. And when you think about that group that Derek James has, Errol Spence Jr., the WBC, the IBF and WBA welterweight champion of the world, you obviously have Jermell Charlo, the undisputed super welterweight champion of the world, who will take on Canelo Alvarez at the end of September. You know, you got AJ, you got Ryan. I mean, oh my goodness, what a list of names. Derek James, a very busy man, but in 3 days' time, he will be very busy as he will lead his man, Errol Spence Jr., into battle against Terence Bud Crawford. I also want to send a special happy birthday, belated birthday to our very own Steve Pratt, celebrating his birthday yesterday here in Las Vegas. Happy belated birthday to Steve Pratt, a PR extraordinaire, doing a wonderful job all week long. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with our media workouts here in Las Vegas, having spoken to Frank Martin, Sean Porter, also Giovanni Cabrera, and also Isaac Pitbull Cruz. I want to thank our fine sponsors over the course of the week who have really helped to make this entire week possible. We want to thank DraftKings, as action's so good, why bet on boxing anywhere else. Also, O'Reilly Auto Parts, the ultimate one-stop shop for all your automotive supplies, everything for your vehicle in one convenient place. That's O'Reilly Auto Parts. Also, the new R-rated comedy Strays in theaters on August 18th. And The Last Voyage of the Demeter, The Legend of Dracula is Born, The Last Voyage of the Demeter, only in theaters on August 11th. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, if you're not a Showtime subscriber, we have the episodes of All Access Spence Crawford, episodes 1 and 2, that are on the Showtime Sports YouTube page. Check it out, as you will get a behind-the-scenes look at what Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford are partaking in as they get closer to their impending showdown on Saturday night, July 29th, on Showtime pay-per-view, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time, presented by Premier Boxing Champions, promoted by also TGB Promotions, Man Down Promotions, and TBC Promotions. The action gets going early as we have prelims, a doubleheader on the Showtime Sports YouTube page, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time. Steve Nelson of Omaha in one of our featured bouts on the stream. Then 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time, Spence and Crawford, the 4-fight card that comes your way from T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas. You can call your local cable or satellite provider for availability. Make sure to call them right now and get yourself locked in for Saturday night. Or you can order the pay-per-view in the palm of your own hand on the Showtime app, or you can visit showtime.com/PPV and hook it up to your smart TV, and you'll be all set and ready to go. This is the most anticipated welterweight championship fight in recent memory, and lo and behold, these two guys collide on Saturday night in front of a sold-out crowd at T-Mobile Arena. Also, if you can't be inside T-Mobile Arena, closed-circuit tickets are available here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena box office. Make sure to go ahead and do that if you cannot be inside T-Mobile Arena. Closed-circuit tickets are available, so you can still go to the weigh-in on Friday. That is open to the public, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time. It is free and open to the public inside T-Mobile Arena, and you can see both Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Bud Crawford work out, and also not work out, but step on the scale and face off for the final time tomorrow. Closed to the public, but you can watch the press conference on the Showtime Sports and PBC YouTube page, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific time, the final press conference Friday. Join us for the official weigh-in, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time here in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. And you want to make sure to join us for the weigh-in and then fight night. Also, we even have you covered for the post-fight press conference on the Showtime Sports and the PBC YouTube page. So following our big night of boxing, the post-fight press conference hosted by yours truly. Looking forward to seeing the smoke unfold, and when the smoke will clear when it comes to Spence and Crawford. Everyone seems to be divided on who is going to pull out this victory. Well, Saturday night, all those questions will be answered as we are going to witness who is going to be the man and who is going to claim their throne as being the kingpin of the welterweight division. Who is the man at 147 in this era? Well, Saturday night, that'll all be answered. Also, the mythical pound-for-pound championship will be up for grabs. In my opinion, the winner of this fight will hold that distinction as the best fighter on the planet today. Will it be Errol Spence? Will it be Terence Bud Crawford? Also want to thank DJ D Miles for doing an amazing job all week long. We're just in day 2. Tomorrow, the press conference. And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to follow us on social media at Premier Boxing, also at Showtime Sports. And we continue to inch closer to more dignitaries that are joining us here in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. So we'll have a special guest in a few short moments for all of you. But I want to I did it before, but I want to know, Las Vegas, are you here to support Terence Bud Crawford? Wow. I hear silence. Are you here to support Errol Spence Jr.? Make some noise. Wow. Seems like a very pro-Spence crowd as of right now. So yesterday it was divided 50-50, but seems like fans are making their way from Dallas, Texas, and from the great state of Texas to support Errol Spence Jr. Yeah, Texas is in the house. I know that Errol is a very proud Dallas Cowboys fan, as is our producer as well, Jason. So had to make sure that, we'll see what happens with Dak Prescott and the boys over the fall. But ladies and gentlemen, don't forget tomorrow the press conference. Watch that 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific time. Showtime Sports PBC YouTube page. Friday the Weigh-In. Join us 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time inside T-Mobile Arena. It's going to get loud. It's going to get crazy. And you don't want to miss it. Saturday night, the fights get going. If you have tickets to T-Mobile Arena, the first fight will be inside the ring shortly after 1 o'clock. A dynamic night of boxing. Also want to thank Scotty Gertner and also Kat from MGM Resorts doing a wonderful job as well. Allison, the entire crew. We thank them so much for being a wonderful host. Oh, we love this hotel so much in the MGM Grand and T-Mobile Arena. It is truly a wonderful venue for prize fights. We're here in the fighting capital of the world. No place I'd rather be than here in Las Vegas in the heart of the summer, even though it is hot outside over its triple digits. But you thought it's hot outside. Wait until Saturday night when these two gladiators collide in what will no doubt be a throwback fight on Saturday on Showtime pay-per-view, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time, all access episodes 1 and 2. They are on the Showtime Sports YouTube page. Make sure to check that out and join us. And we mentioned that this card is sensational. In the super welterweight division, a 23-year-old who is taking a massive step up in competition, trying to follow in the footsteps of that of David Morrell. But first, he's got to get past Sergio Garcia. I'm talking about Yoenis Tellez, who's 5-0 with 4 wins coming by way of knockout, an 80% knockout percentage. Our next matchup for the vacant WBC Bantamweight Championship of the World, as the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire, will look to break his own record and become the oldest Bantamweight champion in history. But standing in his way, Alexandro Santiago. Donaire became the oldest Bantamweight champion in history by knocking out Nordino Bali back in May of 2021 at the War Grounds in Carson. Co-main event for the lightweight title eliminator from the WBA and WBC. It'll be Isaac Pitbull Cruz, 24-2-1, 17 wins by KO. He'll match up against the undefeated Giovanni Cabrera, formerly of Chicago, training under the guidance of the Hall of Fame trainer Freddie Roach. You heard from Frank Martin, who told us, in fact, that it doesn't matter who he steps inside the ring with. It really makes no difference to him. He can either go ahead and he wants the champions, but he's happy to take on the contenders. Doesn't matter to him. He's ready to go. But Frank Martin here to support his promoter, his friend, his stablemate in Errol Spence Jr. And then on Saturday night, for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world, Errol Spence Jr. will go head-to-head against Terence Bud Crawford. for the first time in the 4-belt era, we will have an undisputed welterweight champion crowned. History will be made on Saturday night between Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Bud Crawford. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the kind of fight that you are going to be talking about for decades. It's the kind of matchup where you hear people talk about the great showdowns in the history of prize fighting in Las Vegas. You think of the matchups that Sugar Ray Leonard had against Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran. Also, you think of, I don't know if it's hard to come close to anywhere near Hagler Hearns, but, you know, who knows what kind of combustible fight this is going to be. What I can guarantee you is that, in my estimation, there will be toe-to-toe battle. There will be both guys going out, giving their all, and really trying to prove that they are the man at 147. Floyd Mayweather did it in the era before. Now, these two guys have been the top of the heap at 147 for over 5 years. And finally, after years of anticipation, of dialogue, of debate, of discussion, who would win? Who is going to fight whom? Well, finally, they will have the opportunity where the bell will ring and these two fighters, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, will match up in front of thousands and millions watching around the world. It is Spence Crawford on Showtime pay-per-view. And ladies and gentlemen, in a few short moments, we are going to get a very special guest, a man who is a tremendous, just a world-class prize fighter, a guy who has picked up the IBF championship back in 2017. Had to go to the UK to defeat Kell Brook back in September of 2019 in Los Angeles. Top Showtime Sean Porter in what was just an absolute barn burner at what is now called Crypto.com Arena. Last year in April, he defeated Yoenis Tellez in front of nearly 40,000 fans at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And now he calls it strap season. He's focused on one more welterweight championship, that being the WBO welterweight champion of the world in Terence Bud Crawford. Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen, this man will be looking to make history. He is currently 28-0 with 22 wins coming by way of knockout. Certainly one of the most exciting and action-packed fighters that we have seen in recent memory. You get just pure action when this man fights. He is a 2012 United States Olympian. You know, he's been there, you know, put away the likes of Chris Algieri, you know, went out and wiped out Leonard Bundo. Also defeated Showtime Sean Porter. I mentioned Kell Brook, Yoenis Tellez. This guy has really tested himself against the world's best. And on Saturday night, he proclaimed to me yesterday that he is ready for a blood and guts battle. He knows that it is going to take his very best in order to become the undisputed welterweight champion of the world. But he's looking to make history. He's also gone further to elaborate that he's always craved a moment like this here in Las Vegas, where his name is atop the marquee. He was supposed to have that moment when he fought the great Manny Pacquiao, but an eye injury derailed those plans in August of 2021. He had a horrific car accident and was able to bounce back from that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the WBC, the WBA and IBF welterweight champion of the world from DeSoto, Texas. Here is Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. Also, he's being led to the ring by his esteemed trainer, Derek James, the 2022 Trainer of the Year. Great to see Errol Spence Jr. and his son. His son had his shark shirt on yesterday. Errol, great to see you. Man, great to see your son as well. Errol, yesterday, what an atmosphere, what electricity. Are you feeling the buzz here in Las Vegas, and how's this like for you?
It's great. I'm definitely feeling the buzz. I love everybody showing up. Come Saturday night, I'm going to put on another great show and a great performance. I just got to make sure everybody tune in on Showtime Pay-Per-View or come to the fight. I guarantee you this is going to be one you're going to be talking about to your grandkids and saying that you was at this fight.
Now, we have seen you're obviously a very proud family man. You have your son here. Your father is in the corner behind us. But having your son and your father here with you, how special is this to be able to enjoy all this, to see where you've come from and the adversity that you've had to get past?
It means a lot. I mean, my dad, he's an Errol. He named me after him. I named him after me. He's the third. And it means a lot just having that legacy. And, you know, my son being here, he can witness it. Once he might not remember, but once he get older, you know, he'll see videos, he'll see pictures, and know that he was there during the training camps and everything like that. And just having him here and just notice that everything I sacrificed is definitely for him and for his sisters too. So it means a lot just having him here, just using him as motivation. And I'm definitely willing to put on a great show and great performance on Saturday night and do everything that it takes to win this fight.
How do you balance fatherhood, your obligations to your family, the media obligations, continuing to prepare for your fight against Terence Crawford, and also make sure that you're maintaining your rest?
It comes with the territory. This is what it takes to be great. You know, I wanted my kid around me. He running around right now, but I wanted my kid around me, and you know, I feel confident having my family around. Like, this is as long as I've been without my family, my two girls. This is as long as I've been without my two girls. And usually I always have them with me. I trained at home, I had training camp at home, and I've been here for 3 weeks just to what's called, and ain't no goldfish here, baby. This is a big fish, this is a shark. So you can shut that goldfish shit up.
Now, so being away from your girls for 3 weeks, being here in Las Vegas, does that get you meaner? Does that make you that much more, you know, dialed in for what is to come on Saturday?
Making weight made me meaner. Just making shit, that can make it mean in itself. But yeah, being away from too just made me more, you know, focused and hungry for the victory. But the main thing is, you know, I just want to shut people up, especially the people behind me talking about that goldfish shit. Knowing this strat season, man down, and we gonna crawfish boil another guy come Saturday night.
You said you're gonna have a crawfish boil on Saturday.
We definitely gonna have a crawfish boil. We gonna cook them up real good. So everybody make sure y'all bring y'all Cajun season.
Is it a foregone conclusion that we are going to see toe-to-toe action inside the ring with you and Terence Crawford on Saturday?
I'm not sure you're gonna see toe-to-toe action straight off the bat, but it's definitely gonna be a great fight. If y'all know his mentality, you know my mentality. If I push harder, you know he's gonna push back even harder. If he push hard at me, I'm going to push back even harder, too. So it's definitely going to be an action-packed fight on both sides. I'm definitely going to put on a great show and a great performance. I know he's definitely going to try to put on a great show and a great performance. So make sure everybody tune in on Showtime Pay-Per-View. Make sure y'all order it. This is going to be a great event. This is going to be one for the history books. This is going to be one you're going to be talking about for a very long time.
Assuming things go according to plan and you walk out of T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas with all 4 belts around you, and you're known as the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet, have you thought about what that would mean to Errol Spence Jr., Derek James, your entire family?
It's gonna mean a lot. It's gonna be great. You know, he got a couple more fights coming up with Jamel Charlo. You know, fighting an undisputed guy, fighting for the undisputed 2 at 100, 168. Then got Anthony Joshua fighting. So, I mean, this is a great year for him. You know, he'll win Coach of the Year again. But, yeah, I know my motto, I missed to line him up. So as soon as I take care of this crawfish come Saturday night, is anybody else who want it?
And finally, what you've been telling me, you've been applauding this, and you have been proclaiming this for years. It's all about strap season. For those who don't know, what is strap season?
And it's basically what I've been preaching since the beginning. Strap season started with Kell Brook, then it came to Sean Porter, and then, you know, I got a little hiccups and bumps, and then something happened. I had to face Danny Garcia, but after that, I got the strap Ugas, and then now, like I told everybody, after I get them belts, I'm coming for his fucking strap too.
All right, I'll let you go with this. Saturday night, your promotional company is known as Man Down Promotions. Will it be man down in terms of Terence Crawford being down on Saturday when he collides with you at T-Mobile Arena?
He'll definitely be 39-1. I don't know if it's going to be a man down.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the WBC, the IBF and WBA welterweight champion of the world, Errol Spence Jr. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Errol Spence Jr. Great to see the welterweight champion of the world here in the house. A special appearance. Like I said, when you come to Fight Week's events, when it comes to Premier Boxing Champions, you never know who you're going to see. Special guests indeed. Oh my, it was so great to catch up with Errol Spence Jr. ahead of his matchup against Terence Crawford on Saturday night, T-Mobile Arena, here in Las Vegas, Showtime pay-per-view. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we continue with our media workouts here in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand, as we will focus our attention right now for the foreseeable future on the vacant WBC Bantamweight Championship of the World, as it'll be Alexandro Santiago taking on this man, a man who's a 4-division world champion, future Hall of Famer, as he is looking to make another run here as Bantamweight champion of the world, looking to eclipse his previous record as he was the oldest Bantamweight champion in history, but he's looking to break his own record. And you know that you are special when you set a record, and then you come back a couple years later and you want to break it again and further your legacy. Not that he needs to do it, because he is a first ballot Hall of Famer into the International Boxing Hall of Fame out in Canastota when he decides to hang it up. As we would like to now, beg your pardon, we are awaiting this gentleman's entrance here in Las Vegas. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, a couple Fight Week notes. If you are just joining us, Friday the Wayne, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time at T-Mobile Arena. Free and open to the public, or you can watch it all the Showtime Sports or the PBC YouTube page for free. Then on Saturday, the streaming fight, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time. That'll come your way live. And then at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time, T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas, Spence and Crawford on Showtime pay-per-view. Make sure to call your local cable or satellite provider, or you can go ahead and purchase the pay-per-view on the Showtime Sports app, wherever it's available, on the Google Play or the Apple Store, or go to showtime.com/PPV to be a part of this extravaganza. And it is the most anticipated welterweight fight in history. As now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring up from Taliban, Bohol, Philippines. His record, 42 wins, 7 losses, 28 wins coming by way of knockout. Looking to become and break his record by becoming the oldest bantamweight champion in history. Here is the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire. Nonito, it's great to see you, my man. I like the purple. We could go and stand over this way. I like the purple. Tell us about fight week yesterday. Man, the grand arrival is unbelievable. How are you feeling?
I feel great, man. I'm just looking at everything else. Everybody showed up, and everybody's just kind of doing this stuff. You know, it's time to put it on a show. Show up, and show all these guys what this old man can do.
All right, so you're going to go ahead and give a nice little workout here.
Right.
How are you feeling? I mean, 2 decades in the sport. You know, where do you get that desire to keep competing at such a high level?
Purpose. Every man has to have a purpose. Without a purpose, every man is waiting to die. So I think with me, every day I wake up, you know, I'm willing to go and fight everybody there. Bring in everybody. That's my purpose. Is I wake up every day wanting to be in this ring.
So, assuming that you break your own record and defeat Alexandro Santiago, you will, you know, and you do that, is that the swan song for you, or do you want to continue to keep fighting?
This is what I would say. Hell to the no, 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 no. I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep fighting, and I'm going to get undisputed.
Have you thought, so that's what you're focused on. So not only do you want to win the Bantamweight Championship, but you want to be undisputed Bantamweight Champion.
It's strap season, like you said. You know what? I'm just cleaning up the house, that's all.
So you're cleaning up the house, what you're telling me. You want to be undisputed at Bantamweight right here at 118.
That's the only thing I have not done. I've done everything else. Fight of the year, knockout of the year, everything. Multiple division, unified. The only thing I don't have in my record is becoming undisputed, and that's my goal.
It's fair to say that a lot of you fighters that are competing on the pay-per-view, Spence Crawford, you as well, very proud family men. What does it mean and the significance to have your family around you, your lovely wife as well, to be able to enjoy all of this fight week festivities?
Well, they got to show that their dad, Papa's doing their best. Papa's working hard, and he's not just sitting his ass doing nothing. You know, he's working out there, he's challenging. He's you know, no matter everybody said that I can't do it, I go out there and prove everybody wrong, and they see that. And that's one thing I want to show my kids, is that there is no limitation, only yourself.
In a perfect world for the Filipino Flash, how does it end against Alexandro Santiago?
Well, right now, I'm very confident. That's all I can say is I'm confident. No disrespect to Alejandro, but I'm here for the victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Filipino Flash. Nonito Donaire is going to work out for all of you. And you can enjoy the future Hall of Famer. Go ahead and put his talents on display here in Las Vegas. Nonito Donaire takes on Alexandro Santiago for the vacant WBC Bantamweight Championship of the World. The second fight on pay-per-view before we get to Spence Crawford for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire, working out here in Las Vegas. Look at the moves of the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much to Nonito Donaire for working out here at the Open Workouts. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it here from the MGM Grand right outside of the Sportsbook and Tap Restaurant. Friday, the weigh-in open to the public, 3 o'clock local time at T-Mobile Arena. That's 6 o'clock Eastern. For those of you watching on the stream on the PBC and Showtime Sports YouTube page, also on Saturday, Fight Night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time, the undisputed welterweight championship of the world is on the line. For the first time, history will be made as they will take home all 4 belts in the modern era. Will it be Errol Spence Jr.? Will it be Terence Crawford? Someone's got to go. The winner will take home the mythical championship of best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. It's Spence and Crawford, presented by Premier Boxing Champions, promoted by TGB Promotions, TBC Promotions, and Man Down Promotions. We will see you tomorrow for the press conference. 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific time. Fight week rolls on. It's Spence Crawford here in Las Vegas.
Will Chamberlain invented the world-famous black millionaire basketball player.
The first superstar in basketball.
You have certain preconceptions about me. My guess is, too, that you're wrong.
After Martin Luther King's assassination, we'll realize I can make a difference.
The impact of his efforts benefited everybody.
He's one of the most misunderstood people that I've ever seen.
Goliath, only on Showtime, streaming with Paramount Plus.
It's a way of life for me. I'm the big fish. This is what I live in. I live in deep waters.
My name already up there. It's just a matter of going out there and putting the cherry on top.
This fight's gonna be amazing. Both of these guys are the epitome of what a fighter is. They got all the heart in the world. Neither of them are gonna quit. This is a special wave that's come for boxing. Great fighters putting it all on the line, and that's what everybody wants to see.
It's something I dreamed about since I was a little kid. I wanted the glory. I wanted to be under the bright lights and beat my opponent, a worthy opponent.
That's why we take the chances that we take. That's why we fight the fights that we fight. This is the fight that the world's been craving for.
People ask when you and Terence Crawford gonna fight.
What better way to win a fight than going out and becoming undisputed?
He's in his prime, I'm in my prime, and then the winner Saturday night will be the best fighter in boxing, period.
It's gonna be fireworks to everyone.
You got 2 special fighters getting in the ring. Don't blink.
It's going to be a great night of boxing come Saturday night.
Whatever it takes to win, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to win the fight.